my name is Stephanie Gillespie. In this video, we'll discuss fair use, using guidelines, the TEACH Act, and getting permission. The fair use doctrine, as stated in Section 107 of the Copyright Act, limits the rights of copyright owners for certain uses, but its ambiguity makes its use a judgment call. For the purpose of fair use, be aware that a photograph and a short story are considered a whole work. Therefore, fair use cannot be cited to take one photograph or a short story out of a collection or anthology. To determine fair use, the following four factors need to be considered. The purpose and character of the use. Is it for non-profit educational use, not commercial use? The nature of the copyrighted work. Is it a factual work, not creative work? Is it published, not unpublished? The amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the work as a whole. Is it a small part of the work, not the whole work? Is it an insignificant part of the work, not the most important part of the work? The effect of the use on the potential market for or value of the work. Does it have no effect on the market for the work? Not destroys the market? Now, although there are guidelines such as the guidelines for classroom copying, they do not have the force of law and in effect serve to limit the rights of users by their rigidity. As with all rights, use it or lose it. The guidelines from classroom copying were made in 1976, 2 years before the Copyright Act of 1978 went into effect, and 26 years before the first iteration of the TEACH Act became law. Therefore, in no way do they clarify the law. The guidelines were created, quote, to state the minimum, not the maximum standards of educational fair use. Conditions determining the extent of permissible copying for educational purposes may change in the future. In fact, copyright law has changed by broadening the rights of teachers to use copyrighted materials in class and in online classes. The guidelines are not law, nor do they have the effect of law. In fact, copyright law gives teachers much more freedom to judge for themselves what's reasonable and fair to copy. If teachers commonly use guidelines to determine what is fair, they will unfortunately become law. Therefore, I would encourage you to use your own judgment to determine what is fair by looking at the rights given under the TEACH Act and fair use, and to not use these guidelines or any other. The TEACH Act allows teachers of accredited institutions to digitize copyrighted class materials, either for face-to-face or distance classrooms, without permission under certain conditions. These works must be legally acquired, pertinent to specific teaching goals, used in reasonable portions, fit into a live classroom session, include a notice of copyright protection. But there are some important restrictions. The work cannot be produced or marketed primarily for mediated instructional activities. Only currently enrolled students may access these works, so access should be given through a course website. These students cannot make the works available to others, so downloading should not be possible. Access must only be available to students for the necessary time period to meet specific learning goals. If access is given multiple times in the course to meet specific learning goals, that's fine. Now, the TEACH Act does not permit circumventing copyright protection on a digital item, assigning the work for homework, using the work as an electronic reserve, using the work or any part of it on the open web. Digital copies can be archived for future use if their access is blocked until they're needed. The Digital Millennium Copyright Law Act makes it illegal to circumvent the copyright protection on a digital item, such as digital rights management systems, DRM, If the work is digital and doesn't allow for a copy to be made for classroom use, a teacher may digitize an analog version according to Section 112. Now, because copyright law now offers automatic copyright protection, always assume the work has copyright protection until proved otherwise. Consult the copyright coverage document for specific publication date ranges and their corresponding copyright protection. If you determine that neither the Fair Use Doctrine nor the TEACH Act will cover your use of a copyrighted work, you must obtain permission to use it. Start by identifying the copyright owner, who could be the author, an academic journal, a record company, etc. The copyright owner may offer the use for free or for a very small fee. Otherwise, you may want to consult the Copyright Clearance Center, which has a list of pre-authorized fees from copyright owners for certain uses of various works. Make sure the copyright owner gives you permission in writing, citing the work, fee, and the use authorized. After getting permission, you still must include a note of copyright protection. Next, take a look at the Further Reading and Pellissippi Resources section, complete the quiz, and participate in the discussion.